There will never be another film quite like Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a perfect storm of artistry, crafted by a team who had spent their entire lives dreaming of a project like this. The fact that it even got made feels like a miracle, especially when you hear how it was made. Seeing in person a screen-use artifact from the film, awe-inspiring. Ultimately, it took time for audiences to catch on. Nightmare wasn't always the mass-market phenomenon it is today. After production wrapped, many of the original sets and props were actually thrown in the trash. I've been lucky enough to add some of these pieces to my own collection. And this one, it's one of my favorites. This is one of two screen-used mirror Hearse from the movie The Night Before Christmas. There were two of these that I'm aware of made for this film. The other one had an animatable cat on the front, which this one does not. The Nightmare Before Christmas is a very important film to me. Indirectly, because of The Night Before Christmas, is what led me to meet Mr. Martin here, working for Henry, who directed this film.
Yeah. It's the movie that made me want to come and work in the United States. It's one of my favorite films, by far. Like the best stop-motion animation film I've ever seen.
And such an odd film for Disney to have made. Tim Burton was able to get this film made because Disney was courting him to work with Disney, and like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. When it finally came out, they were like, we don't know how to deal with this film, and they didn't really promote it, and it didn't do well in the theaters. So this particular Hearse was originally sold in the 1993 auction that Disney had through Sotheby's.
When the movie was out in the theater.
Yeah, it came out in '93.
That's insane. That the same year they released it, they just put it all up for auction. It just seems like Disney didn't really care about this film at all.
I think there's some truth to that. At the time, they didn't understand what they had in their hands. So in this catalog, the Sotheby's Collector's Carousel, which on the front it's Sleeping Beauty, if you flip in a few pages, you can get to the section where there's The Nightmare Before Christmas. When they sold this stuff, they would sell them in lots. Lot number 746, a group of Halloween residents. The towns of Halloween is well represented by the clown with the tearaway face, the undersea gal, the vampire, not pictured, the Harlequin demon, and the tall witch. Starting price $1,000. So, the prices were significantly less. And here, in this case, you've got the town hall exterior, the hearse, and then you have a puppet of the mayor. Starting price at $2,000.
That's when you need a time machine.
At the very beginning of the film, when the mayor first comes in, it doesn't look like this one, so that's probably the other one. But later in the film, he calls the town meeting.
Town meeting.
So you can see a lot of the detailing, like this little paint here, and the way that this bends a little bit, and you can see these little divots here in the seat. You can see this crack here, and this is like no doubt in my mind that this is the exact
That's
one.
right. When I talked to Norm about this, and he came out to Chicago at one point, I think the other one wasn't meant to be for the driving sequences. I think that's why this has such a heavy undercarriage, because this was supposed to be moving.
That makes perfect sense, because the other scene where I got a clear match was when he's driving down the hill. But you've got the bent thing here, you've got the same detailing of the drapes, and I just wonder if they used the RC and drove it down this hill.
I doubt it.
No, because they had to animate the
mayor inside.
The mayor and the megaphone,
Yeah.
so they had to move it slowly down that hill.
Yeah, you're right. This is moving, he's moving.
Yes.
So how would they have secured the hearse on the hill?
Just a big rig.
Big bolts
okay.
through the ground.
Just straight into the chassis. Yeah.
But it's probably from the
Like
bottom.
from the behind that way.
I would say it was probably from the bottom.
Yeah,
They probably just drilled holes in the set, and they had thick wood in the bottom so that when they drilled the hole, it would stay nice and secure.
Yeah.
And you can see the size. Imagine the size of the set.
Yeah.
You look at this guy. The size of the set is the size
Huge.
of this room.
Right.
Huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It's not a miniature. And you see all the lights that work? The headlights and the backlights are functioning.
Yeah.
And there's even a light on the mirror on the inside.
That's right.
There might be some hidden light in here.
That could have been off.
Up here.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's a little light up here.
Oh,
That's
you're
it.
right. You're totally right.
Yeah, and that's why it's
Actually, I
shining.
never noticed that.
It's shining down on the mare.
Yeah.
So
That's wild.
this again proves that this was used in that shot.
Right.
And in that shot, they added this. Because look, it's tape. It's tape and it's glued right here. Like it's a little wire that's added afterwards. Probably because Henry Elden's going through this door. Like,
Yeah.
Here, let's see.
Because it was what?
Yeah.
Too dark.
Because Henry was
The
probably, I
shot.
cannot see the mare. Please add some light. And look, it's totally, and it says 14 volt. It goes there, it goes across, and it goes inside. And there's two lights. There's one here
Oh, you're right.
and one there.
You're right.
They're added afterwards to light up the mare.
I was aware of this cable, this wire, but I didn't realize that there's little bulbs. The wheels all move, so in the film it does roll on the wheels.
Each wheel is different. This one has the bolts, they're inset, and there's a little cut right there.
Right.
And this one, look at the nut, the center nut is offset completely.
Right.
And it's totally asymmetrical. Because I know Henry loves
Yeah, I mean-
asymmetrical things.
And there were supposed to be no straight lines in this.
And look at
too.
this.
right.
That-
This is
that
a
was the-
square. This is look at this. The shape of this one is completely different, and the shape of this one is completely different. So each hubcap is
Unique.
unique. And then this pattern here, you can see that pattern a lot
Throughout the film.
throughout the film.
That's right.
Like the windows in Jack's apartment look
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Look at the detail on the little lamp. There's little tiles on the little lamp.
Are those just drawn in?
They're just drawn in, yeah, with a pen, but they're beautiful.
Yeah. There's lights, wiring, and lights in the headlights.
They're really beautiful. If you look at the cat and the sculpting of the cat, he is really awesome looking. And he's got the ribs, and he's got the little. He's a hissing cat. He's the little spiked hair on his back, and his tail. All the angles are all straight angles. This little front part here, there's a little screw here, the hood, and it opens up. So it's probably to access the wheels. I know we can't see under, but the chassis under is all metal, and it's an RC car underneath. So,
it is?
Yeah, it's an RC chassis.
Well, I don't think it's an RC chassis. I think it's an RC. There are elements from an RC,
from an RC car.
car
Yeah.
that are part for the suspension.
Now, you look at the steering wheel. They did the just to look like an old
To the
style.
side, and
To look
let's
like an
open the
old
door.
style steering wheel. Yeah. The part that is wood is glossy, you know, like an Alfa
Right.
Romeo like steering wheel, and this should be able to rotate. And when you rotate it, it's got resistance. It's not free spinning. So when the animator rotated it, it stayed in position.
That's right.
Stayed in position. You could see inside here. You could see the screw holes here, and that would be the butt mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like holes and hole marks too.
Well, I can explain what the hole marks are. They're called tie downs. So when you're animating, the whole thing can stand on one toe and just be in a position, and it's not supposed to move.
Yes.
All the holes.
So this is the ladder that the mirror would have used to go up the stairs. And if you look at all of the holes that are drilled in, and these holes are not drilled in typically beforehand.
No, yeah, the animator drills them.
This would be something that the animator does
Yeah.
when he figures out the placement of where
foot.
the foot would be. And in some cases, when they have to add metal, in this particular case, there's metal on the bottom of this, they probably would have worked, the builder would have worked with the animator to figure out where the steps would be so that they could pre-do that. But a lot of times on sets, the base is wood and they just drill it from the bottom, and the set is raised up so the animator can go underneath the set.
There's a door in the back that opens up in this hearse, so you
Right.
can see. You can see the here. If you rotate this
Yep.
guy, this whole back door here opens up right there.
Oh,
so you
wow.
can see inside, and you can see the holes drilled in the roof.
That have been patched since
That have been
patched
patched, yeah.
after the fact.
Yeah. So you probably went in with your hand and you tightened it. This is why everything had to be very solid. I always thought that stop motion puppets should get a Technical Academy Award. There's a lineage all the way to Nightmare and past Nightmare. It keeps going and going and going.
And you were part of that lineage too, developing.
I was part of that lineage developing.
3D printed replacement faces,
Yeah, which
right?
damaged stop motion forever.
What do you mean
Well,
by
but it
that?
allowed it to be more cost effective, so you
Yeah.
can continue doing stop motion.
But the mare, you have a mare puppet.
I do.
The replacement face on the mare.
Yeah.
When,
It's the same idea.
same idea, but it jitters.
Oh, it does.
But
yeah.
it looks so cool as it's like shifting because it looks real. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't look
It was
clean
real.
in CG.
Yeah.
It was real.
And so you're saying that what you did with the 3D printing made it more clean.
Way
and that
more
it
clean.
It
wouldn't-
made it more
it
what
wouldn't
everybody
move it-
was working for without realizing that you're losing something in that process.
Yeah.
The cleaner stop motion looks, the more it looks like CGI.
So hard now to tell the difference that the CGI guys are making CGI look like stop motion.
They are.
Which is sad. So I would recommend if you're making stop motion movies, don't use rapid prototyping for faces. Sculpt them. It gives it life. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't see movies like Nightmare anymore, where you're able to be kind of crude and you can see the scale, and you can feel that it's small but cool and magical.
Yeah, this is by far one of my favorite things that you have in your collection.
I just wish they could make stop motion movies like this again. That's all. And when I see this, I'm like, that's the reason why they should make movies like this. Just do it by hand. That's it. And I think we'd get that magic again.
I was gonna say it's a lost art, but it's not really a lost art because people like you still know how to do
I
it.
think it's a lost art. I think it's getting more and more of a lost art. We're losing the animators. We're losing the director of photography. We're losing the artists. We're losing the sculptors. I think it's a complete lost art.
You know, Nightmare Before Christmas is made the way it was made because that was the pinnacle of technology at the time.
Yeah.
And the technology has evolved, and we've lost something in the art in that process. And I think the only way to get back to that is if the audience demands it. So after looking at the details, the construction, the materials, and the provenance, I feel absolutely confident saying that this is one of the 2 Mare Hearse made and used during production. But more than just confirming its authenticity, I hope it gives you a deeper appreciation for the incredible artists who brought this film to life. People like Henry Selick and Norm DiCarlo, and the entire team at Skellington Productions, who poured their hearts and souls into every frame. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas isn't just a movie. It's a handmade masterpiece. Thanks for watching, and if you love this film as much as we do, let us know in the comments.